So would I recommend the APS course to a newbie Scrum team? I think that's its sweet spot and what it was designed for. The APS is the thing the outcomes I love about the APS. I've talked in other videos about like what happens in the APS, but the outcome is a realization of what needs to be different in your organization in order to give this thing a try. So if you're a new team in an organization moving towards Scrum and your organization maybe has done a little bit of Scrum, maybe hasn't, maybe it's brand new to them, one of the exercises near the end of the class is based on everything that you as a team, you as a group of people attending this class have learned. What are the things that you would need to change in your organization in order to be successful at this? Because we've just talked about what it should look like, the levels of transparency, the interactions between people, the accountabilities, and perhaps those are just not present in your organization. So what does need to change? And especially when I have groups of people that are very new to Scrum, there's a moment at the end where we create an organizational change backlog. And it works the best when you have leaders in the room, right? If you've got a big class and you've got leaders in the room, I can actually say, so who's the most powerful person in the room? Who's the hippo, right? Who's the most powerful person? And I've done this in classes where it's the CEO, right? And the CEO says, yeah, I am. I'm like, this backlog's for you, right? And I literally give it to them, and that's one bit that's maybe a little bit better in person because you're ceremonially giving them this huge stack. I've had 50 cards out of a class before. Here are all of the things that this group of people that have just been through this class believe need to change in your organization in order to be successful at this. That's hugely powerful, not only from the perspective of the people feeling that they're heard to come up with it, but also powerful from the CEO participating in the class, like demonstrating that this is important enough that I turn up, and receiving that backlog, but then actually doing something with it. And that's where there's been the most impact from the APS, is when there is somebody in the room who can take that backlog, who can then do something with it. Because you get like, who's the most important person? Here's your backlog. Who can help them? And people volunteer in the room. Could one person from each team volunteer to help this person action some of these items and figure it out? And people volunteer and they feel involved and they feel empowered, and it creates this, like, I don't know, get up and go, this gumption to go make the change, go do this thing differently and try something new, right? Try something different and see if it's successful. And I think that for me is why a newbie team moving into Scrum, moving into Agility is almost the sweet spot of the APS class. It's also great to realign people who have been doing Scrum for a while and think they know everything, right? We need to be doing user stories, and we need to be doing story points, and we have to do estimation, and Scrum says we can't change the sprint backlog after we've started the sprint, and all of these crap things that are nothing to do with Scrum whatsoever, but people believe they are because that's how they do things in the organization. And that realignment also results in some of the same epiphanies as well. It's not as huge as new teams, but creating that organizational change backlog. Oh, we've got something wrong. Let's adapt. Let's change it. Let's bring some of that empirical process into the way we do business as well. I think that's hugely important. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, follow, and subscribe. I always reply to comments, and if you want to have a chat about this or anything else Agile, Scrum, or DevOps, then please book a coffee with me through NKD Agility.